Leave
Scallywag
Ken.
alert.
Come back with me. I know that it's Ken's baby, but I will raise the baby as if it was my own. I'm like, and what happens to Ken? He just disappears in thin air.
Isn't he
He's
the
saying
side chick?
that
He's gonna go back with his man.
he might grow hate because it's a constant reminder of Ken.
I'm just like, I'm happy, and I want you to move on to be happy. And he keeps himself in this bubble
That man
of
don't
like
love you,
waiting
girl.
to see
He
what
don't
happens
like
with me. And he's preventing himself from meeting somebody that could be the love of his life. It could be the perfect person for him.
Right.
There's still that lingering hope that I will go back to him and we can pick up where we left off,
You keep
even with
messaging
the
him
pregnancy.
and communicating
And
with him.
too much has happened for that.
You're toxic. Gypsy is a straight up fraud. She is triangulating these men. She is still communicating with Ryan. Why would he think there was hope if she wasn't communicating with him? And then she gets here on this TV and act as if she doesn't have any communication and they're all in love. We saw the way Ken looked at her. The way Ken did not care about how she feels. He doesn't care about how she feels because of who she is. Okay? If you really think any man is going to be in love with a woman that murdered her mom, that's insanity. You will never find love. You won't. Because the one person in your life and the first person in your life that ever loved you, you unalived. For her to really get on here and say she is happy, we saw that show last night. That man cannot stand her. It is clear as day. And anybody that thinks otherwise, I feel bad for you because you're unable to read the room to the level you would end up in a toxic relationship because you're not able to even identify what toxicity is. I said what I said. You can take it for what you want to take it for. It is what it is, Bookie. But Gypsy, that man don't love you. He don't want you. He literally sat there and ordered whatever he wanted. He didn't care about you or your alleged pregnancy or whatever you had going on. That man did not give a hot damn. You are out there being his sugar mama. You bought him a house, allegedly. You out there blowing your money on paying for him having these elaborate dinners. All you are is a sugar mama. So play your position. Talking about, oh, Ryan, I'm happy. What we saw on TV, you look exactly the way you treated Ryan. That is karma, baby doll. Anyway, take it for what you want. Y'all have a great night.
Don't read it. Just delete it and move on.
Mr. Stay up all night, looking at comments.
You know, okay, alright. Yeah, I'm guilty of it too.
If I didn't trust you so much, I would say that behavior is shady. It looks shady.
We're not even 10 minutes into the show, and Gypsy's already accusing Ken of not being faithful, which is crazy to say because she's married at this time. She's still married at this time and pregnant.
A 2-year-old Kylan Darnell video that I posted has been going viral, and I couldn't understand why it started going viral, so I did some deep diving. Fall of 2022, Kylan Darnell rushed a Bama sorority and ended up becoming a Bama Zeta. She ended up meeting this girl called Amayah. Amayah and Kylan Darnell became really good friends. I mean, they were two peas in a pod. You always seen them together. Videos, everything, always. Spring break comes of 2023. So this is freshman year, spring break, and they all plan a trip to Panama City, Florida. Now, they made arrangements with each other and the driver to all get down there. The day of, Amayah gets to the car, and they're saying they don't have enough space for her. Kylan starts saying that they've always said they had space, but, you know, that's up for debate. Anyway, this video went viral, so I want you guys to listen to this, and then I want to show you how messy Kylan Darnell's mama is getting up on the internet to start stuff at her big age.
Okay, y'all, this is embarrassing. I should not have to make this video. Holy shit. because it's my personal life, like, and I put myself out there on social media, but y'all weren't there. Like, I love you guys. You guys were not there in this whole situation with Amayah and what her mom commented. Her mom wasn't there. Her mom had no place to get involved in college drama. But, okay, I'm just going to give you the rundown. So, we were at PCB with 26 Zetas. 26 house, all right? So, we were trying to get here, and a couple of us, like, took off earlier than the others. And on Monday, we all, like, were figuring out with our friends, like, our rides and stuff like that. And Amayah asked if she could go with Paris, who was the driver, and Paris said, I'm going home to, because Paris lives in Florida, she said, I'm going home, like, halfway through spring break, so I'm taking a lot of stuff home, so I don't have, like, enough room in my car. So she told her that, like, flat out on Monday. We have the receipts, but me and Amayah are still friends and everything. It's just, like, it was just a car situation. And so then, Amayah, like, struggled to find a ride, and so Maya Sagan took, like, time out of her day and got her a ride. And the morning there, but she wasn't going with our group, she was going down with a different group. But that morning, Amayah showed up to all the cars and thought that she was just going to squeeze in our car whenever we really didn't have room. I mean, I was literally, like you saw in the video, there were so many suitcases, I was really packed in one spot. So I think it was just a miscommunication situation, but she was told clearly that we didn't have room in the car, and then her mom just isn't here and went and said that because her mom originally thought that she was going with us. I guess I have no idea where that got mixed up, but yeah, that's the tea. She was not left out. She was not kicked out of the car. Like, it was not like that at all. And Amayah knows that, and we're here. Like, don't ruin our spring break, y'all.
Okay, TikTok, I do have clothes on. It's just a bikini. Let's not take this down. And before I say any of this, my mom did apologize to me for commenting on Kylan's TikTok because that wasn't called for. I told her to delete it right away. It was up for 1 minute, but apparently a lot of people saw it, so I'm gonna adjust the situation. Basically what had happened was, we had been planning this trip for 3 months ago, so I'm under the impression that Paris was driving me with Kylan and Maya. I texted her a couple days in advance to confirm, and she said she was going home early, and she will have a lot of stuff in the car. The day before, Kylan dropped off all of her stuff in Paris' car, and they said they would have no room for me to sit. Thankfully, Maya found Dasha to drive me. She's not in this house, but she was going to PCB, so I did get a ride here. I don't want this to be pinned on any couple people, especially Kylan or Maya, because it's not like that. The only thing that made me upset about the situation was that I didn't feel accounted for. There's 21 girls in the group, and I was the only one who didn't have a ride. The reason why I joined a sorority in Alabama was because I've always wanted a group of girlfriends. I never had that at home. I had a couple friends that, are my ride guys, but I really wanted to find that here because I never experienced that. And I just felt excluded, and that's why this whole thing blew up, because my mom said something about it.
Ahead of you, for your information, the freshmen tend to head to Florida, the sophomores Punta Cana, and the juniors take over Cancun, and the seniors close it all out in Cabo. My understanding is that Cabo is by far the most fun. Kylan's group as a junior, they decided on their own, not the entire junior class or anything like that, just her group that she's going with has decided to go to Cabo twice, especially after not fully enjoying their spring break trip last year. They were all very sick. As messy as Kylan is this year, nothing will ever compare to her sloppiness her freshman year. It was so bad, I got a phone call to come quick. I had my work cut out for me once I got there. No, I didn't go on the spring break trip. I'm talking about the University of Alabama to get her to spring break. It was the first time I was invited or included on mom group chats from Alabama, which really helped. Kylan had figured out that the freshman girls were going to PCB. She had heard about it when she was at the Zeta house visiting. She was not living there yet. She was in Pres 1 after Christmas, so that would be the second semester. Your classes change, your whole entire schedule completely changes, and that will cause your friend group to change. So Kylan had met the girls that she's in her house with now, all except for one. She met that group. That group went to high school together, most of them, and they had their lives planned. Mamas out there, if your daughter didn't have 5 invites for spring break or whatever, don't sweat it. Spring break is kind of like sorority girl math. If you think you don't have a group, you actually kind of do. Tell her to just look around, because between her major, the girls that she sees in class each day, the girls she sees lunch with in the sorority house, next year's roomie and her friends, even girls you run into daily, like at the gym or whatever, that is where you need to look, and that's where I encourage my daughter to look. They pick roomies for the new house. I mean, they start looking like who's coming, you have to apply for that, you get accepted into the house, you find your roommate. That's like a big deal, and that happens kind of early. It is completely normal for friend groups to shift and change the first, I'd say 2 years of college. Freshman, first semester, absolutely. Even the second semester, Kylan's freshman year. The kid had so many brand deals to get finished within a 2-day slot. I got the phone call.
So basically right now, Kylan Darnell's mom takes to the internet to rehash a story that happened over 2 years, to lie about it, to make Kylan Darnell into a victim. And I can't fathom why she did that. But also, I think back to Christmas, where they went viral for all their fraudulent name brands like Chanel's and Birkins that were all DH-gate. And I can't help to think to myself, she is obviously fake and fraudulent, because the fact that she was doing that online with her kids as well, and lying and saying she got it from the real, I knew it wasn't real when I just looked at the doors in her house, but I was like, maybe it is. Okay. So she gets on here, she's pretentious, and you hear the way she's speaking. I mean, whatever. Anyway, Maya claps back. And I love it because Maya finally speaks out on what happened because nobody knew what happened. I didn't want to pry. I was trying to fish to find out what happened, but it seemed like Maya wasn't ready to tell the story. And I also didn't want to assume anything because if I made a video and it got out there, I didn't want Amayah to get backlash for the public responding the way that they do.
Since I want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Since someone's mom wants to bring it up after 2 years, it's time for me to tell the truth. Not my truth, but the truth. Let's start with the basic facts. Since I don't want to use this girl's name, we'll just call her Kelly. To start this off, yes, she left me on purpose. Second of all, everything she said in her video 2 years ago was a lie. Third off, she tried to spread lies about me for stealing her credit card, which I would never do, because first of all, I make my own money. Second of all, my parents are very well off. And that was a racist trope for her audience, and everyone clocked it. Okay, so boom, me and Kelly were best friends. We were literally attached to the hip from the moment we met. We had a very genuine bond. She was actually my best friend at the time. We were so close, in fact, that I invited her into my home for winter break. And maybe her mom wants to tell you why she wanted to spend winter break at my house. We have been planning spring break since the first semester. There's about 30 girls going, and it was no question that I was riding with the trio and another girl. After winter break, I noticed a change in her. I wasn't really worried because nothing had happened, but we did hang out less. I just assumed it's because she had a very demanding job, and I did not want to get in the way of that. Fast forward to the day before we leave for spring break, we had already paid for the Airbnb. Everyone had their rides figured out. Everyone had their bags packed. Mind you, there's a designated time for everyone to meet up and a designated place for everyone to meet up. I knew that the car was going to be packed because my friend who lives in Florida didn't have to bring stuff home, but to my surprise, when I looked into the car, the bag that was in my seat did not belong to the girl. And she said, "Oh, sorry, we don't have any room for you anymore." I was honestly in disbelief because imagine your best friend is in the car while they drive off and you are stuck in a parking lot and you do not know what to do. And before anyone says you could have driven yourself, I have a medical condition that prevents me from having a license. It honestly broke my heart, and my first reaction was to call my mother. My mom answered the phone. She was waiting for me to pose in the car going to PCB. That's when she realized I was sobbing and I was in a parking lot by myself. And if y'all know Mama Gina, y'all know she was pissed. We planned this so far in advance, she was in disbelief as well. My friend, who I'm still friends with, felt bad, and she did find me a ride with another group who was also going to Panama City. And my mom wanted to give me a flight, but I refused, and I said I was going to ride with the other girls. My mom also had reservations of me joining a Panama sorority, so she was just so angry. But as soon as we hung up the phone, she saw a comment saying, "Where's Amayah?" on a TikTok of Kelly sitting next to a bag, and she commented back and said they left her on the side of the road and told her to find another ride. I did tell my mom to delete the comment, but that's when everything caught wind. The sorority caught wind. Everything was just blowing up. Kelly and I both agreed to make TikToks saying that everything was fine between us. So imagine my surprise when I see a video that she posted and deleted before I woke up talking about my mom and throwing her under the bus. Since that stirred the pot more, I decided to make my video resolving her of any wrongdoing, which looking back, I should not have done. And at that point, I could not take what I said back, and everything started coming out about her saying that I stole her credit card, stole money from her, all that, yada, yada, yada. Also, y'all, this is the day that her sister got exposed for saying the N-word, and she told me that it was edited, and then her sister was in the comments talking about she wanted mixed babies, and that's why she said it. Kelly did everything to disparage my name with no remorse or no consideration for my feelings. And I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a while to mourn the death of our friendship because we were so close. And after spring break, I did not talk to her at all. We went no contact, and I decided to be so gracious to not tell the truth. So gracious until her mom popped out 2 years later talking about me, calling me a liar. To finish this story time, all I have to say is don't tell no lies about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
What makes this situation so weird is the fact that Kylan Darnell was upset that Amayah's mom said that they left her on the side of the road. But she's okay with her mom making a whole video trying to troll and lie on Amayah to make Kylan the victim. And just so happened they're on spring break right now and she didn't have a lot of views until yesterday. And now that her mom told these lies, her videos have been going viral. Yeah, it's giving scam. They need to afford those fake bags. I said what I said. Good day.